Priss clipped off another leg, restraining the spider with the edge of her hand. She was smiling. Blow-ups of the video pictures, a new voice from the TV said, when subjected to rigorous laboratory scrutiny, reveal that the gray backdrop of sky and daytime moon against which Mercer moves is not only not Terran, it is artificial.
You're missing it,
Irmgard called to Priss.
This is so important, what they're saying. It proves everything we believed is true.
The TV set continued. The moon is painted. In the enlargements, one of which you can now see on the screen, brushstrokes are shown. And there is even some evidence that the scraggly weeds, perhaps even the stones hurled at Mercer by unseen alleged parties, are equally fake. It is quite possible, in fact, that the stones are of a soft plastic, causing no authentic wounds. In other words, Buster Friendly broke in, Wilbur Mercer is not suffering at all. We had last managed, Mr. Friendly, to track down a former Hollywood special effects man, Wade Courtauld, who flatly states, from his years of experience, that the figure of Mercer could well be merely some bit player marching across a soundstage. Priss had now cut off 3 legs from the spider, which crept about miserably on the kitchen table. Quite frankly, we believed Courtauld, and we spent a good deal of time examining publicity pictures of bit players once employed by the now defunct Hollywood movie industry. And you found? Listen to this, Roy Batty said. Irmgard gazed fixedly at the TV and Priss ceased her mutilation of the spider. We located, by means of thousands upon thousands of photographs, a very old man now, named Al-Jari, who played a number of bit parts in pre-war films. From our lab, we sent a team to Jari's home in East Harmony, Indiana. I'll let one of the members of the team describe what he found. A technician spoke. I scanned, by telepathic means, the blurred, debris-cluttered and hazy mind of Al-Jari, seated across from me. I found that the old man did, in actuality, make a series of short 15-minute video films for an employee whom he'd never seen. And as we had theorized, the rocks did consist of a rubber-like plastic. The bloodshed was ketchup. Al-Jari, Buster Friendly said. Well, well, an old man who even in his prime never amounted to anything. It has often been said by the adherents of Mercerism that Wilbur Mercer is not a human being, that he is an archetypal superior entity, perhaps from another star. Well, in a sense, this contention has proven correct. Wilbur Mercer is not human, does not in fact exist. The world in which he climbs is a cheap Hollywood soundstage which vanished into Kipple years ago. And who, then, has spawned this hoax on the Sol system? Think about that for a time, folks.
We may never know,
Irmgard murmured. We may never know, Buster Friendly said. Nor can we fathom the peculiar purpose behind this swindle. Yes, folks, swindle. Mercerism is a swindle.
It's that empathy,
Irmgard said. She roved into the kitchen, up to Isidore.
Isn't it a way of proving that humans can do something we can't do? Because without the Mercer experience, we just have your word that you feel this empathy business, this shared group thing. How's the spider?
She bent over Priss's shoulder. With the scissors, Priss snipped off another of the spider's legs.
For now,
she said. She nudged the spider.
He won't go, but he can.
Roy Batty appeared at the doorway. It's done. Buster said it out loud, and nearly every human in the system heard him. Mercerism is a swindle. The whole experience of empathy is a swindle.
I don't think this will end the cult of Mercer,
Priss said.
But right this minute there are a lot of unhappy human beings. We've waited for months. We all knew it was coming, this pitch of Buster's. Well, why not? Buster is one of us. An android.
Irmgard explained.
And nobody knows. No humans, I mean.
Priss, with the scissors, cut yet another leg from the spider. All at once, John Isidore pushed her away and lifted up the mutilated creature. He carried it to the sink, and there he drowned it. In his mind, his hopes drowned too, as swiftly as the spider.
He's really upset,
Irmgard said.
Don't look like that, JR.
It's all over now, Roy Batty said. For Mercerism, I mean. With his nails, he managed to lift the corpse of the spider from the sink. "Maybe this was the last spider," he said. "The last living spider on Earth." I don't feel well," Isidore said. "Is the sky behind Mercer just painted? Not real?" "You saw the enlargements on TV," Roy Batty said. "The brushstrokes." "Mercerism isn't finished," Isidore said. Something ailed the three androids, something terrible. The spider, he thought. Maybe it had been the last spider on Earth, and the spider is gone. Mercer is gone. He saw the dust and the ruin of the apartment as it lay spreading out everywhere. He heard the kipple coming, the final disorder of all forms, the absence which would win out. Reaching out, he touched the wall. His hand broke the surface. Gray particles trickled and hurried down, fragments of plaster resembling the radioactive dust outside. He seated himself at the table. Like rotten, hollow tubes, the legs of the chair bent. Standing quickly, he tried to reform the chair. The chair came apart in his hands.
What's he doing?
Irmgard Batty's voice came up to him.
He's breaking everything. Isidore, stop.
"I'm not doing it," he said. He walked unsteadily into the living room, to be by himself. He stood by the tattered couch. He thought of the corpse of the spider with its 4 remaining legs. Everything in here is old, he realized. It long ago began to decay, and it won't stop. The corpse of the spider has taken over. In the depression caused by the sagging of the floor, pieces of animals manifested themselves. The head of a crow, mummified hands which might have once been parts of monkeys. Again, he thought, it's happening to me again. I will be down here a long time, he realized, as before. A dry wind rustled, and around him the heaps of bones broke. Even the wind destroys them, he perceived. At this stage, just before time ceases, I wish I could remember how to climb up from here. Looking up, he saw nothing to grasp. Mercer, where are you now? This is the tomb world, and I am in it again, but this time you're not here. Something crept across his foot. The mutilated spider. He picked it up and held it in the palm of his hand. The bones, he realized, have reversed themselves. The spider is again alive. Mercer must be near. The wind blew, cracking and splintering the remaining bones, but he sensed the presence of Mercer. Come here, he said to Mercer.